History is shaped by moments of choice. For the Khwarezmian Empire, that moment came in 1218, a decision born of pride that would unleash the Mongols. The Mongol storm would not just topple a throne, it would erase cities and rewrite the destiny of Central Asia. Khwarezm stood unknowingly on the edge of disaster. A flourishing civilization, rich in culture and trade, was about to be brought to its knees. The Silk Road, once a symbol of prosperity, would soon run red with blood. This was more than a war, it was a clash of worlds, one settled and confident, the other nomadic and relentless. The fall of Khwarezm is a stark reminder that even the mightiest empires can crumble. In 1218, the courts of Samarkand and Gurganj thrived, ruling lands from the Caspian Sea to the Indus River. Shah Muhammad II saw himself as a great conqueror, master of a wealthy realm. To the east, the Mongols seemed distant, almost mythical. Few in Khwarezm imagined the threat they posed. Their world was about to be shattered by a force they tragically underestimated. This is a story of hubris and its terrible price, a gritty tale of survival against impossible odds. We'll see how a leader's arrogance can blind him to danger. The fall of Khwarezm is more than a historical event. It's a timeless warning. Power is fragile, and underestimating an opponent can be catastrophic. The echoes of this catastrophe still serve as a cautionary tale for all time. In the early 13th century, Khwarezm was a jewel of the Islamic world. Its cities bustling, its coffers full, its armies large. But beneath the glitter, deep cracks ran through the empire. Shah Muhammad's rule was challenged by internal rivalries, even by his own mother, Turkan Khatun. The army was a patchwork of mercenaries, loyal to gold, not the Shah. The Shah, ambitious but indecisive, believed his empire invincible. This supreme confidence blinded him to the world outside. Outward strength hid inner fragility, making Khwarezm dangerously complacent. The people and their ruler felt safe behind their walls, dismissing the Mongols as mere barbarians. This fatal miscalculation set the stage for one of history's most brutal destructions. The first contact between Mongols and Khwarezmians came not with armies but with merchants. In 1218, Genghis Khan sent a caravan to establish peaceful trade. The caravan, laden with goods, arrived at Otrar, where the governor Inalchuk saw only spies and opportunity. Acting out of greed and paranoia, he arrested and executed the entire caravan, seizing their goods. This was a catastrophic violation of diplomatic norms, a direct challenge to the Mongols. Genghis Khan was furious but still chose diplomacy, sending 3 envoys to demand justice. The message was clear: hand over Inalchuk or face consequences. The fate of millions now rested on the Shah's response. He could sacrifice one governor to save his empire. Instead, he faced a choice that would decide the fate of his world. The spark had been lit. Shah Muhammad stood at a crossroads, reason or pride. He chose pride, refusing the Mongol demand and committing a grave taboo, executing the lead envoy and humiliating the others. This destroyed any hope for peace. For Genghis Khan, the murder of an envoy was a declaration of war. The time for diplomacy was over. Only retribution remained. The Shah's arrogance had sealed his empire's doom. News of the insult unified the Mongol tribes in fury. Genghis Khan prayed for strength, then gathered his greatest army. He would march west and erase Khwarezm from the map. The Shah had underestimated his enemy. He was about to learn the true meaning of Mongol wrath. The Mongols would not just conquer, they would punish. The fate of Khwarezm was now sealed. The world would soon witness the consequences of arrogance. The Mongol storm was coming, and nothing would ever be the same. The Mongol army was a disciplined, adaptable force, masters of speed, surprise, and psychological warfare. Shah Muhammad, fearing a coup, scattered his troops among fortified cities, believing walls would save him. He underestimated the Mongols' ability to adapt. Genghis Khan divided his army, striking from multiple directions. He led an elite force across the Kizil-Kum desert, bypassing main defenses and appearing before Bukhara. Khwarezm was hit from all sides, its defenders stunned. The Mongols used Chinese engineers to build siege engines, overwhelming city after city. The Shah's strategy failed. His best soldiers were trapped and isolated. The Mongol storm was cunning and deadly. The empire's defenses crumbled. The Mongols advanced relentlessly, leaving devastation in their wake. The Khwarezmians had never faced an enemy like this. The end was near. The Mongol campaign was swift and brutal. Otrar fell first. Its gates betrayed, its people massacred, its governor executed in grisly fashion. The message was clear. This was vengeance, not conquest. Bukhara, stunned by the Mongols' sudden arrival, surrendered after its garrison was destroyed. Genghis Khan declared himself the flail of God, then looted and burned the city. Samarkand, famed for its beauty, fell next. Its defenders, demoralized, surrendered after brief resistance. The Mongols executed soldiers, enslaved artisans, and massacred the rest. Shah Muhammad became a fugitive, fleeing from city to city as his empire collapsed. His armies destroyed, his cities in ashes, he died alone on a remote island. The once mighty Khwarezmian Empire was left in ruins. The Silk Road's jewels were now smoldering wrecks. The cost of arrogance was total destruction. The Mongols had made their point. The world would never forget. The Mongol invasion left Central Asia devastated. Cities in ruins, farmlands turned to desert, survivors scattered and desperate. The social fabric of Khwarezm was obliterated. Skilled survivors were forced into Mongol service. Others became refugees or perished. The fall of Khwarezm is a powerful lesson in the dangers of pride and miscalculation. Shah Muhammad's arrogance blinded him to the Mongol threat and violated the rules of diplomacy. He believed his walls would protect him, but his greatest weakness was within. This story still echoes today. No power is permanent, no fortress impenetrable. True strength requires wisdom, humility, and the ability to adapt. The ghost of Khwarezm warns us, leaders who ignore their enemies risk total ruin. The lesson is written in dust and stone, a warning for all time.